We've been talking about the National Herald over the last few days. Now, this case is, not merely a legal dispute. It seems it is turning into a saga of generational loot, allegedly orchestrated by the Gandhi family and now laid bare by historical truths and relentless scrutiny, as the BJP claims. As the Enforcement Directorate tightens its grip, the BJP has posted exchanges between Jawaharlal Nehru and Sardar Patel to question the intent of the Congress party. It's on your screen. The National Herald, as you know, founded in 1937 by Nehru and other freedom fighters, was meant to be the voice of India's independence movement, published by the Associated Journals Limited, AJL. It was a noble endeavor, backed by 5,000 shareholders, ordinary Indians, freedom fighters, not a family fiefdom. Yet as early as 1950, marked the year, Sardar Patel, the iron-willed Home Minister then, sounded the alarm. In letters to Nehru, documented in Sardar Patel's correspondence, Patel warned that Herald's funding, sourced from people in power and dubious characters, was tainting its credibility. He cautioned against accepting money from questionable sources, also citing examples like Himalayan Airways and a shady businessman named Akhani, both tied to government contracts. Patel's words were clear. This was a misuse of influence, a betrayal of public trust. Viewers, what did Nehru do? He brushed it aside. In a reply on May 5, 1950, he wrote, "We all at times receive contributions from charitable funds. Should they be refused or accepted in certain circumstances?" He even called the Herald a good business proposition. His words, not mine. Its shares and debentures, not a bad investment. Nehru's words. Patel, who was undeterred, wrote again, slamming the non-charitable transactions and the dishonesty surrounding the Herald's finances. Nehru's response was evasive. He claimed he had distanced himself from the paper, passing the buck to others, including his son-in-law Feroz Gandhi. Viewers, nothing has changed, it seems, in 2025. The Congress is trying vendetta, claiming Young Indian is a charitable entity that made and that no profits were made. But the facts puncture their defense. Young Indian, despite its not-for-profit label, has shown no evidence of charitable work, not that we are aware of. Viewers, let's talk about Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister now, Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu, who in a stunning display of loyalty over logic, defends giving government ads to the National Herald. Why? To support its legacy or to prop up a sinking ship that's been milking public funds for decades? Sukhu's defense is a slap in the face to taxpayers who deserve transparency, not patronage. When public money, viewers, is funneled to a publication entangled in allegations of fraud, tax evasion and misuse of assets, that is not charity, it's complicity. Viewers, will justice prevail or will the legacy of the alleged loot go unpunished?
हिमाचल प्रदेश में अधिकारी कर्मचारियों को पैसा देना सरकार को मुश्किल पड़ता है। डीए की किश्त नहीं देते, महिलाओं को 1500 रुपया महीना देने की बात कही थी, वो पूरा नहीं करते। लेकिन नेशनल हेराल्ड को करोड़ों रुपया 12 दिसंबर 2022 से लेके 20 फरवरी 2025 तक कांग्रेस की सरकार देती है। तो मेरा सवाल कांग्रेस के मुख्यमंत्री हिमाचल प्रदेश से है कि किस आधार पर ये पैसे दिए गए। चाहे राहुल जी हो, सोनिया गांधी जी हो, एक तरह से एटीएम नेशनल हेराल्ड को और यंग इंडियंस को इन्होंने बनाया है।
आपने विज्ञापन भी दिया है नेशनल हेराल्ड को।
नेशनल हेराल्ड हमारी अपनी अखबार है, हम उसमें खूब विज्ञापन देते रहेंगे।
Sanjay Jha is joining the panel. Professor Naval Kishore Yadav, national spokesperson of the RJD, also with us. Sanjay Jha, so far the commentary from the Congress is that, look, this is vendetta by the Modi government. BJP, RSS are misusing agencies. How would you, describe this exchange between Sardar Patel and Nehru to our viewers?
Pranesh, I'll answer your question in 3 short points. The political party which is making these allegations against the Congress party and the National Herald is the most corrupt political party in India's history. Electoral bonds showed you that they used mafia operations to extract money for campaign finance. Can anything be more disgusting? Have you heard of this kind of gangster finance raising by any democratic party anywhere in the world? I'm not even going to get into Adani, Rafael, demonetization scam, etc., etc. Here's my second point. Kindly ask my friend Shehzad, who's representing the BJP here, that when the RSS gets airtime on Doordarshan, when Mr. Mohan Bhagwat suddenly after 2014, a lot of his speeches were covered by Doordarshan. Now, Doordarshan happens to be a state broadcaster. I want to know on what basis did RSS get that airtime? I also want Shehzad to tell me how much was paid. In fact, I'm going to request everybody watching this program to file an RTI application and ask that every time the RSS gets airtime or any newspaper space, who pays for it? I want to know that, and I ask that not because I'm hostile to BJP or pro-Congress or pro-India alliance. As an ordinary citizen of the country, I think it's taxpayers' money. My third point is that, let me tell you, I have followed the case of National Herald for perhaps earlier than anybody in the Congress party, at least as far as the spokespersons are concerned. Pranesh, I'm telling you straight, I'm not going to do the job of Abhishek Manu Singhi or Kapil Sibal to argue with you because we have limited time. But I'm saying this with full responsibility, Pranesh. It is such an absolute, what I call in English as a fraudulent case. It has no legs. Even a kindergarten commerce student, if there was commerce being taught at the preschool level, they would have cracked it if there was any substance in it. There's no substance in the case. Nobody's made any money. And I can tell you all the allegations that I've heard that the BJP is making against the Congress will be another egg on their face. Remember that US aid story is
now,
gone,
Mr.
right?
Sanjay Jha, you made 3 points. I'll get the BJP spokesperson to respond to it. But, sir, isn't it, hypocrisy pro max when you say electoral bonds, sir? Why did the Congress take money? You should return it first at least, and then you can question, then you can question everybody under the sun. But to keep the money and to then ask question is a bit rich. No pun intended. You did not utter the word Sardar Patel or Nehru even once. It's not so much about the ad. It's about what Sardar Patel did, because you are saying it's a witch hunt. Was Sardar Patel also, from the RSS, BJP?
Very quickly, Pranesh, and this is important. Since you mentioned why did the Congress take money, etc., I'm even now going to appeal to the Congress party watching your program that the reason why the BJP continues with all these canards and this vendetta and this witch hunting is because the Congress doesn't logically follow a problem to its conclusion. On the electoral bond issue, if I had been, heading the Congress, by now I would have put BJP under investigation under each and every probe of allegations of misappropriation and fraud. This is the problem. The Congress party lets BJP off the hook. This is the problem with the Congress party. The reason why the BJP is having a field day,
right,
and I can see that the BJP will have a Schadenfreude, they change the narrative, is because the Congress actually has a very soft peddling problem.
Now,
but
Mr.
never
Jha,
too late. I would still
even in the second attempt, you haven't said a word about the correspondence between Sardar Patel and Nehru. Now, to say that the present case is vendetta when in the face of these letters is absurd. Kamru Saman ji, what's going on? 1950 se vendetta chal raha hai, sir.
It was obvious because National Herald that time was also very critical of the RSS and their ideology. Even today also National Herald or Navjivan or Qawmi Awaz all are critical of the RSS ideology. But the basic point that the BJP member made a press conference was how come the Himachal government was paying.
No, the basic point is also this. Sardar Patel. Why was Sardar Patel questioning the funding of National Herald? Answer that question. We'll get to the ads.
No, you have to understand the reasons why National Herald came into existence in the
I know the reason, sir. I know the reason.
Because of the National
Tell
Herald.
me, why did Patel cite dubious funding why did he say that, say this to Nehru? बताइए, इसका एक जवाब दे दीजिए. I'm sure कुछ तो होगा.
बेसिकली तो नहीं, ये आपको जवाब चाहिए. आपको तो वाइस प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया जिसने अपना ब्रीफ को एक्सिट कर गया, अपना पेचेक को एक्सिट करके भी चीफ जस्टिस पे टिप्पणी उड़ा रहे, उस पे तो कोई डिबेट नहीं है. आज एक नेशनल हेराल्ड व्हिच इज क्रिटिकल ऑफ द
Kamruzaman Chaudhary, someone who's a constitutional figure, आप ऐसी भाषा का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, पेचेक etc. sir. And like I said, I think I didn't say that in the first debate, but it's a bit rich when Congress talks about respecting judiciary. आप उठा के देख लीजिए सर, आप लोगों ने क्या क्या किया है, वो मिल जाएगा. बट नवल किशोर जी, ये जो नेशनल हेराल्ड के मामले में कांग्रेस के जो सहयोगी दल है, वो भी कह रहे हैं कि देखिए मोदी जी डरे हुए हैं राहुल गांधी से, इतने बड़े जननायक हैं कि उनके खिलाफ ये वेंडेटा विचरण कर दिया. सरदार पटेल ने 1950 में क्वेश्चन उठा दिए थे सर कि डूबियस फंडिंग है.
नहीं देखिए, अपनी अभी तो आपको मालूम है कि इस साल में बिहार में चुनाव है और उनको मालूम है कि उनको कहने के लिए कुछ नहीं है, तो नैरेटिव बनाने के लिए कुछ भी लाएंगे. कब खोदते हैं,
ये कुछ भी थोड़ी है, ये चिट्ठी है, ये नैरेटिव. नवल किशोर जी, एक सीधा सवाल है, ये चिट्ठी उन्होंने क्यों लिखी कि 2025 में जब बिहार का चुनाव होगा सरदार पटेल की चिट्ठी पढ़ी जाएगी? चिट्ठी तो कुछ सोच समझ के लिखी होगी सर. चिट्ठी में लिखा गया उन्होंने, देखिए
ये काम भी बीजेपी बहुत सोच समझ के करती है कि इसका कितना फायदा होगा, कितना आप डिबेट करेंगे, कितना इंपैक्ट होगा और क्या क्या उन्हें नहीं करना पड़ेगा. आपने देखा नहीं, कई सारा काम इसी तरह से करते हैं. कई वक्त पे लोगों का टाइम बर्बाद करते हैं, कभी इधर टाइम बर्बाद करते हैं.
चलिए, आपके पास भी अब आप भी क्या बोले, ये तो आउट ऑफ सिलेबस जैसा, किसी ने तैयारी नहीं की थी कि पुराना कुछ डॉक्यूमेंट निकल जाएगा. पर शहजाद, आंसर संजय झा and Kamruzaman Chaudhary.
Ever since the charge sheet has been filed by the ED in this case, there are so many sensations in the entire ecosystem. Fadfadahat, tadpadahat, bulbulahat, chatpatahat, hadbadahat, खटपटाहट. पता नहीं कि इतनी घबराहट क्यों है. मैं सिर्फ इतना पूछना चाहता हूँ. Now they have said that this is vendetta politics. First of all, please tell me, when did the case start, Sanjay Jha ji? 2012. Whose government was in power? High Court, Supreme Court तक challenge किया. Did you get any relief? No, except from personal exemption. No other relief was granted. They are still out on bail as accused number 1, accused number 2. IT matter was challenged right up to Supreme Court. What relief you got? In fact, the High Court and the trial court both have said that Young Indians was created as a sham company only to usurp the properties of 2,000 crores and not title of the property but the beneficial interest in the properties, the rental incomes. I am not saying this. Apart from me, who else is saying this? The freedom fighters. AJL belonged to 5,000 freedom fighters. 1,000 plus shareholders were there, but the shares were surreptitiously given to the Young Indian, where only Ma Beta were the biggest shareholders of 76%, and people like Shanti Bhushan, not from BJP, Markande Kaju, not from BJP, complained that this was done illegally. Now coming to the final point, look at the manner in which they operate. One is the Damaji, from 0 rupees, he gets 700% profit. One is the Ma Beta, 50 lakh rupees, they get 2,000 crore worth beneficial interest in the property. And whom are you asking for opinion from? From convicted Chara Chor, you are asking way in on Zameen Chori of National Herald. And as far as RSS's airtime is concerned, Sir Sanjay Jha, you also get airtime despite being suspended. RSS is the world's biggest voluntary organization. Pranab Mukherjee had gone to their headquarters. So clearly, if Pranab Mukherjee, the former president and a stalwart congressman, feels they are of newsworthiness or some importance, okay, obviously the other channels also. But I ask you, now 10 seconds more, I ask you, 1 lakh crore debt of Himachal Pradesh, 2 crores is given to a paper which does not get published, which is not a daily paper, and those which are daily papers, which have readership and viewership, all the DAVP norms are completely exhausted. And tell me how many women you gave 1,500 to as promised. How many 300 units of electricity did you do free in Himachal Pradesh?
Okay.
Nobody is fulfilling those promises. 2 crores to National Herald.
Tushar, 1950 Sardar Patel's vendetta against the Congress party.
Pranesh, it seems that Sanjay Jha is missing a few analogies here. He says, why does Mohan Bhagwat get a lot of airtime on Doordarshan? It's a fair question. Look, it's a very, very fair question. But then Mohan Bhagwat doesn't own a company that owns the right to control Doordarshan. Mohan Bhagwat has not secured the assets of Doordarshan, especially the real estate assets, through a holding company at a throwaway price. 3 simple facts, Pranesh. If any Congress representative or supporter can say one of these 3 facts are wrong, the debate will be over, and as Mr. Jha says, a kindergarten kid will be able to deduct the conclusion. Didn't AJL have a loan of 90 crore rupees that it owed to the Congress? Number one. Number two, that in 2010, didn't Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi create a company called YIL with 76% shareholding between the two of them?
Right.
Fact number three, wasn't the loan that the Congress had to take from AJL, the debt that the AJL owed to the Congress was transferred to the YIL. So from the party loan, it becomes a YIL loan, essentially becoming a Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi loan. Now tell me, if any of these three facts are incorrect or misplaced, the case would be over, the courts would strike it down.
No,
but it's been more than a decade, the courts have not struck it down. So let the courts decide. Let them have belief in the judiciary after all.
Would have
One last fact.
No,
One last fact. When the loan is with AJL, that time it is not waived off. When it goes to YI, where there are only two major shareholders who have taken everything.
I don't know what to say about Sanjay
Jha's
Jha's kindergarten comment, because the probe in this case came from the court. So, you know, we don't have time, otherwise we would have discussed that. But gentlemen, I thank all of you for joining us on India Upfront. The news hour with Navika Kumar on the other side.